Can you eat a sandwich or something? I can, but not right now. But dude, oh my God, I got to tell you about the sandwich story. The sandwich. Dude, we got sandwich. All right. Very good sandwich. We'll go through the doctor stuff. It's not great news. So let's get over to doctor stuff, because that's the sad part of the stream. We go to the doctor. We're talking to him. How you doing? Incremental improvements, we say. You know, it's like 20% better, 25% better. The guy's going through the paperwork, looking at stuff. He's like, all right, what have you been trying? We go through the whole list of BS we've been trying. He's like, all right, well, here's the thing. You've tried all the allergy stuff. You tried A, B, nasal sprays, neti pots, all the stuff, steam, humidity. Okay, so what that tells me, the doctor says, is this is probably not sinus related. Okay, so he's like, you might have hyperacusis. Oh, thanks. I kind of figured this out on my own, but okay. 3 co-pays later and, you know, $250 out of my pocket. That's great. Thanks for letting me know what Copilot told me. So the thing is, he wants to make sure there's nothing going weird in your face other than the normal stuff. So now's the MRI part. So essentially, we have two options. MRI, depending on what it comes back, it's either going to be a jacked up eustachian tube. Basically, a eustachian tube, if you don't know what it is, it's basically behind the ear, leads into the ear, does sinus drainage, kind of gets all that crap out. If that is closed up, it creates pressure on the eardrum, can cause hearing sensitivity. It could mess you up. If that's the case, then surgery might have to be done unless they do something else, and they just pop that crap open. You know, think about a stint for your ear. That's best case scenario. Okay. Other scenario is, well, you got hyperacusis and you're fucked. So essentially that's like, sounds will always bother us, particular sounds. It ain't getting better. And the ringing in the ears will be there perpetually for all eternity. So he's like, maybe you could work with a white noise machine. And I'm just like, why has it got to be white? Tried to have a sense of humor about it. He seemed perplexed. So I know what they are. It's manageable now. Now it's manageable. We got all the precautionary things we could do. We got earplugs. We got all sorts of weird stuff. We always have prior to this diagnosis. So essentially it's like, oh, the other thing, it could be TMJ, teeth grinding related, because we've been doing that. So that's, we do have the TMJ. It's a clicking in your jaw, which could actually affect the hearing. That, again, depending on what the MRI is, could get fixed with a surgery. I'm not sure I want somebody popping open our jaw to maybe realign it properly. You know, surgery's like last ditch effort for me. So essentially it's like deal. As of now, depending on what the results are, MRIs take forever to schedule and whatever. We don't get to see this guy again for another month and a half at least. So yeah, you could be grinding your teeth in your sleep. Oh, I know I'm grinding my teeth. We had a professionally made night guard. We cracked that crap. We literally shattered it in our sleep. Those things are hard. It's not one of the over-the-counter ones that are kind of rubbery. This was a hard plastic, like a polymer, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, that thing's done. So the softer ones are actually a little bit better, but then, you know, depending on how much you're grinding, your teeth will actually shift. I feel like I should blame YouTube for this. We didn't have this problem prior to 2017 when they decided to demonetize everything and cripple us financially. So, that being the case, but we've always had, you've always had TMJ. So, again, clicking in the jaw. And, you know, depending on, you know, our MRI, fingers crossed, may be good, but yeah, Not, he was, you know, what the disconcerting part about that, right? Bro was just like, I don't like when I ask somebody and they have no answer on how to fix it. You know, they give that exhale of how do I tell them this is the new norm? And I'm just like, I literally spared him that because I didn't, you know, you didn't want to like burst into tears and be like, you don't realize what I do. I love music. Well, that other crap. So whatever. Again, it is what it is. We can hear, oddly enough, exceptionally fucking well. And that's actually the problem. We hear so good, the stuff that you would normally hear, you wouldn't hear. So it's not a loss of hearing. I would be so lucky if we can cut that back a little bit. There you go. So after the MRI, we'll see what we're doing, but we have not lost hearing. It's just unbearable to hear. The irony, right? What the fuck? And that is weird. What are the chances? Like, who gets really good hearing? So much so that it actually bothers you. Oh, the other option was sound therapy stuff, where you go to a therapist and they tell you how to deal with the perpetual ringing that drives you mad. And that's weird. And this came on pretty sudden. So it's not like we were sitting there, you know, going to concerts every night and being like, oh yeah, let's go, you know. So we, again, and we tell this to the doctor, you know, like our environment is crypt quiet. Everything is silent. Everything is silent. You get a decibel reader, dude, it barely hits 40 decibels. That's a library. So we're literally quieter than a library. So because perpetually throughout our lives here, we've always had this auditory sensitivity. We didn't know what it was because back in the 90s, nobody's like, you know, you might have hyperacusis, you know? And we're like, what do you, what happened? Nobody knew what it was. Nobody cared, you know? And it's, of course, you know, we got to have that rare thing. It's rare. Not a lot of people get this. Good job. Could you get something common like a buildup of earwax? So it's also part of the autism spectrum, is it? Or is that the other one? There's another one that's about, like when you don't like to hear people chew, it drives you nuts, right? We're okay with chewing. It's just certain tones and frequencies. Nobody cared about ADHD either. Oh, back then, yeah. I can hear fire trucks from far away. It's like, okay, yeah. Dude, fire trucks going by. Like if I go for a walk and there's somebody burst into flame and there's a truck going by, it is excruciating. It is like, and recently it's one of those things where it is, I would say, crippling to the point where you just want to curl up in a ball and just be like, just stop the noise. We don't know why. Never happened before. We used to like cover our ears when loud things would happen and just be like, oh, damn, that's loud. But now it's like, it's a physical, like a full body aversion. You know, when they play that really loud sound in the Venom movie and Venom freaked out? Yeah, we're kind of on those levels. But not just that one tone, every tone. So, I don't know. Misophonia. There you go. Misophonia. I like that. It sounds better because it sounds like something Frank Black from the Pixies would yell in a song. Misophonia. You know? That's what he does. He yells weird. I think I kind of gave you the update, which the update is it still sucks. Can't do anything. They gave you more steroids. Here's some more steroids that might help. Because ibuprofen actually helped a little bit. Took the edge off, man. So he's like, all right, well, then maybe swelling will kind of just do the steroids thing, anti-inflammatory, blah, blah, blah. Roid rage. That's what the squirrel needs. Roid rage. So, again, try not to stress too much. Big things that happen in our life, we tend to just roll with it. It's the little things that we get really bent out of shape about. If my pen runs out of ink when I'm drawing something, it is absolutely the end of the world. I get into a car crash, I'll get out of the car and be like, well, this sucks. And I'll look around like, you guys all right? You guys okay? You okay? You all right? Nobody dead? Nobody bleeding? All right, cool. All right, I'll call cops and get everybody here. Yeah. So that's the thing we're in. We'll process it at a later time, but you know what? We got a lot of other shit to do before we process this life-altering crap. Plus side, one, we work from home. We don't have to deal with a lot of stuff. We don't go out a lot. We don't want to go out a lot. So generally all these things that would greatly affect somebody else who had a daily job they had to deal with, it's more manageable for us because we kind of built the circumstances we're in. So it's just like sound editing may take a little bit longer and I have to take breaks doing that. And music stuff, I feel like we'll dial that back a bit. But, you know, you got 220 songs in the bank. Roll them out when you need to. Yeah, so just things will keep going. You know, and when they don't, you'll be the first to know.